Hey, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the T cell activation and differentiation. So, how T cell will activate and differentiate as a adaptive immune cell. So, first of all, we will understand the whole story. So, here is the person which that is, for example, infection in the digestive tract due to the pathogen. So, bacteria are present in the large intestine like the commensal bacteria and fungal infected pathogens and viruses, and the epithelial cell contain a mucous membrane. Whenever the mucous membrane will less, so the pathogen will invade. While important thing is that this is the barrier immunity. While the microbiota, for example, the antigen, the foreign substance, that is the pathogenic, we recognize through the dendritic cell because the dendritic cell receive the antigen from the pathogen, but the dendritic cell will not work further. Epithelial cell is here and the mucus, which that is the barrier. So anyhow, the barrier immunity. So in this the dendritic cell or Langerhans cell, basically our antigen presenting cell will basically receive the antigen and this innate immune cell activate, and this dendritic cell will produce after the recognition it will target the T regulatory cell for regulation if the um, own antigen, so the T regulatory cell educate to not infect or not clear the our own antigen. If the T regulatory cell will not work, so the control and suppress immune cell and stop inflammation will not occur. So anyhow, in this way, I hope you make sense about that. Antigen presenting cell also recruit the monocyte and recruitment of the macrophage for further clearance of the pathogenicity, and then the production of the antibodies by the T cell activation. So it will also go into the lymph node. So when go into the lymph node and thymus gland and lymphatic system for innate and adaptive cell differentiation and recruitment, and in this way antigen representation through MHC class 1 molecule and T cell receptor will receive this antigen, and the naive T cell will are present in the lymph node. The naive T cell will proliferate, and in this way the innate adaptive cell will proliferate in the different type of cells like the T regulatory cell, T helper 1, 2, 9, 17 and 22 cell. So these cells also recruit basically are already prepared through a production of interleukin 12, interleukin 4 and transforming growth factor beta, interleukin 6, 21, 23 and basically the transforming tumor necrosis factor alpha. Basically already present the T helper 1, T helper cell will also recruit by the naive T cell or the dendritic cell. Anyhow, this T regulatory cell will inflammation suppression if the autoantigen, so the autoantigen reaction will inhibit via our T regulatory cell by the production of interleukin 15 for the giving the signal to our own immune cell to suppress and not react with our own antigen but the pathogen. If pathogen, so it means the T regulatory cell will not activate. So in this way the T helper 1 cell produce interferon gamma and T helper 2 cell CD4 it produce interleukin 4, 5, 13, 25, 31, 33 and 9 produce 9 interleukin, and T helper 17 cell produce interleukin 6, 8, 17A, 17E, 22 and 26. On the other hand, the interleukin 22 also produced by the T helper 22. So in this is the effector cytokines disease, which that is function to basically apoptosis of tissue cells, activation and induced cell death. While on the other hand, this is the cytotoxic T cell type. While on the other hand, CD4 is the basically helper cell, and in this it is help to basically inflammation, IgE production and the chronic eosinophilic inflammation, and in this the mast cell activation for the allergic reaction. While on the other hand the interleukin 9, which that is important for the mucus production, tissue inflammation, and that is basically interleukin 9. While on the other hand the T helper 17 is very important for the extra cellular pathogens and chronic neutrophil inflammation and the macrophage recruitment anyhow. So the neutrophilic inflammation. While on the other hand, the interleukin 22, which that is important for the tissue inflammation to activation due to the UV stress, chemicals, microwaves, and the pathological effect due to the basically tissue inflammation. So in this way, important is that basically it will help to clear that inflammation. So remember, and thymus gland basically will store the B cell, naive B cell, and the for maturation and activation, the T cell activation and maturation will function properly. So in this way, the dendritic cell will go into the thymus gland for activation of the CD8. The CD8 can be a T helper 1, and on the other hand, the CD8 also for apoptosis, and the CD4 T cell can be a T helper 2, 9, 17, and 22 for helping to the progression of the inflammation and the clearance of the infection. And CD8 T cell is cytotoxic T cell to cell death, and CD4 T cell to help to immune response, and B cell activation to response adaptive response.